Eboni K. Williams is pregnant, and her pictures with people, they are amazing. She looks gorgeous. I want to start this video out with just her pictures, just so we can take in this very beautiful woman. So this is the article from People. Eboni K. Williams is pregnant. Real Housewives of New York alumna expecting first baby, a girl. My remarkable miracle. And if you remember Eboni K. Williams, she is the one that went viral with Ayanla. I think that's how I'm sorry. She's the one that was talking about no, she wouldn't date a bus driver. The happy news comes 2 years after Williams revealed she was using frozen eggs to pursue motherhood via sperm donation and IVF. Anybody who's gone through IVF or attempted IVF will tell you so many things have to go right for the final result of this journey to be a baby, Williams says. That's why I've called this my remarkable miracle, because it really does feel like I've been the recipient of some very enormous favor from God above. Williams also says she nicknamed her daughter One of One, a moniker that doesn't just signify how special the baby to be is to her, but also represents the luck she had make her dreams of getting pregnant into a reality. So I want to bring this up, and it's amazing because IVF is in the news, and it's so great that this woman, because we know if you've listened to any of these women with their stories of IVF, sometimes it takes multiple rounds, and it is hard on your mind and body going through this, but she was able to do it in one round. She says, I did one egg retrieval at 34 years old, not really having a clear intention on if I would use those eggs or when I would use the eggs. And 6 years later, that one egg retrieval led to one genetically normal embryo, which led to one successful embryo transfer. And one pregnancy later, I'll soon have, God willing, one beautifully healthy baby girl. So it really does feel like fate. Now, this is also for the people that act like embryos are really children, when it's really not. This process is so tenuous, and it's such a toss up on whether or not these embryos actually will be healthy. It kind of throws out the whole, life begins at conception and embryos are children. They're really not. We don't really even know if they're going to become children after being implanted, because pregnancy is challenging. Motherhood wasn't something that was always on Williams's bingo card, she admits to People. I want to say that with conviction and clarity, I was not the little girl that grew up fantasizing about having kids and what I would name them and all of that, she says. That was not my dream or fantasy. I had no real expectation around it. I love this quote because it just reminds us all that not everybody goes on these milestones or fits perfectly into the boxes that the patriarchy has painted for us. And I'm glad that she's speaking on this. All right. Even when she went through the process of freezing her eggs, Williams didn't have a surefire plan of what was next. I was really thinking I would never use them, whether I got married again or didn't. It was the pandemic and having some real existential conversations within my own self about legacy and life and love and the different ways in which I really wanted to explore family. During that exploration, Williams says it finally clicked to her that she didn't have to pigeonhole herself into the boundaries of a traditional motherhood. I really freed myself of the rigidness of what legacy, love, and family could look like. Those are the three pillars I reassessed, and it helped take me from this idea of I have to have it this way on this timeline, on this timeline, everyone else. The timeline Williams was on looked different. After making her debut in 2021 on Real Housewives of New York, season 13, as the show's first ever Black housewife, the lawyer and former public defender put out her second book, Bet on Black: The Good News About Being Black in America Today, and returned to her broadcast journalism roots as the host of the Griots News with Eboni K. Williams and news podcast Holding Court with Eboni K. Williams, the latter which earned an NAACP Image Award in March. She's also the presiding judge on the first-run syndicated daytime court show Equal Justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams, which debuted last September. That professional success, for which Williams says she is incredibly fortunate, mixed with the fact that she had purchased property for herself in Manhattan during the pandemic, helped give her the confidence that the time was right to start her motherhood journey. I had realized this aspect of the American dream for myself, and I felt like I could really provide for a child in a way that feels stable and safe and secure, she shares. It just started getting crystallized for me that I was not only going to be all right in just my own individual state, but also that God was blessing me with a tremendous abundance of love and resources. So I felt compelled to share this forward to the next generation, not just through mentorship, but through creating my own progeny and cementing my own legacy in this very unique way that only motherhood could offer. Another stunning photo. It says it also helped that Williams had learned to get rid of the shoulds in life. You know, should have done this, should have done that. That is some great advice right there too. There will always be that voice that says, maybe I should have waited to meet a man and remarry before I had a baby. Maybe I should not be trying to do this alone. But F that, she says, I'm not waiting. I'm 40 years old. I'm not waiting to build assets. I'm not waiting to build my career. I'm not waiting to travel. And I'm certainly not waiting to start a family. I just refuse to wait one more day. That's where I'm at. Everything I want to do, I'm doing right now. And I'm excited. I feel as ready as I'm ever going to be. I love this story. I love that she is a career driven 40-year-old Black woman that's doing her own thing and has created a path for herself and put it out there that you can, do this. But obviously, you got to have the money to do this because IVF does take thousands of dollars. It could range anywhere from 10,000 to multiple tens of thousands of dollars. And it doesn't always end up successful on the first round. And it is mentally and physically draining to do this on top of what it takes to go through a pregnancy and the healing. So this process is a long process and it can be very taxing, but I'm glad that she is finding the success that she wants to. Something that I did want to highlight though, we got all of these podcasters, the red pillars and everything talking about how you got to get married and do all of this by a certain point in time. But if you look at the people, the women and girls aged 15 to 29, these bottom three lines on this graph, the birth rate is going down and has been going down ever since. Actually, the teenage birth rate has been going down since the 90s, but this starts at 2007 and has been consistently dropping. And that's because girls are more focused on going to school first and laying their foundations. And the first time motherhood is like right now is around 30 years old. So women are waiting a little bit later to have kids as of now. I know in times past it was like early 20s or whatnot. And a lot of the people that are pro-natalist people, we got to get the birth rate up, they're freaking out because the 15 to 29-year olds, their birth rates are the ones that are dropping. But if you look at these that are over 30, their lines have been pretty consistent. So those are the lines that have not changed that much. Is that that women and girls are waiting a little bit longer to get married and have babies. So let me know what you think about this one. Jump in the comments. How do you feel about this? I'm very happy that this woman stuck to her guns. She didn't like date down or marry down simply to say she has someone to have a baby with. She created her own lane and stuck with it. Let me know what you think.
I know that Black women are earning college degrees faster than anybody else. Many of us are doing like we're doing, Ayanla. We're getting those terminal degrees, those JDs, MD, PhDs. We also are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, along with Latina women in America. Pew Research said that women are now out-earning men. Yes. In 22 of the largest cities in America, including where I live, New York, D.C., L.A., you name it. When we talk, and I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? You. Would you date a
If he
bus
owns the
driver?
bus, if he owns
No.
it, if he owns the bus,
See, that's a
Iyanla.
problem. That's a problem. That's a problem
Okay.
because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women.